Chapter 1. Day 1, You are listening at FameTV.info. Operator Day 1 Operator Ugh, what the hell? My body feels all kinds of wrong. Did somebody hit me with a truck? In a groggy haze that encompassed my mind, I slowly attempted to open my eyes. But wait, that might not be all that correct. For some reason I couldn't feel my eyelids. The hell, trying to shake the drowsiness from my mind, I instinctively groaned as I usually do when waking up after having had a particularly deep session of sleep. But no sound was produced, or rather there was no feeling of response from my body when tried to use my throat. Okay, what is going on here? I'm not in some kinda coma, am I? Slowly my vision came back to me, but it only alleviated a small amount of my worry before giving way to a whole new slew of questions. Something about my field of vision was seriously way off. I was rather confident that my field of vision usually didn't extend to a full 360-degree angle. By the way, why do my surroundings seem so gigantic? Yeah. All of this makes no sense. As if to answer my befuddlement, a series of prompts all of a sudden invaded both my sight and mind, followed by an oddly monotone but soothing and pleasant voice: soul restoration completed. Welcome to Eve, congratulations. You've received 2 traits as blessings. Status, name. Race. Glade mosquito sex. Male rank. K. Level, 1/3 health. 1/1 stamina. 1/1 mana. 0/0, attributes, STR. 0 Vit. 0 AGI. 2 DX. 1 Int. 12 CHR. 0 Will. 11 Mag. 0, Trait, Titles, and Skills, 3 traits. 3 titles. 0 skill points. 1 Resistances, PHY. Resistance. 0 Mag, Resistance. 0 Men, Resistance. 5 Taking in everything, one step at a time, my mind began to run through all the information to slowly form a response of the utmost ability of my 12 points in intelligence. I know. That probably wasn't the most appropriate response to such a situation for any human, former human. Most people would probably freak out or scream in righteous indignation at the ludicrousness of the situation. But I honestly couldn't help myself. Instead, all this seemed rather interesting and exciting to me. For my whole 19 years of life, I've simply gone with the flow of society and lived my life like any other person. But with an uncommon amount of time spent just drifting, I've begun to lose motivation to do really anything. Not saying that I'm suicidal or some kind of nihilist, but due to spending too much time within my own head, I lost all motivation to do pretty much anything worthwhile, since I didn't truly find any purpose in living a life that meant nothing in the grand scheme of things. So instead I ended up being drawn to fantasy like a moth to a flame. The only escape I found in my mundane life was fantasy in any form. Now, seemingly reborn in a brand new world, I honestly couldn't be happier. For the first time in my life, I supposedly had the opportunity to do something I truly found interesting. Sure, I was going to miss my mom, dad, and little sisters, but other than that I had no other attachments to my old life than them. Resolving my thoughts, I looked around to properly take in my surroundings. It was daytime and I looked to be at the entrance of some kind of giant cave, a probably normal sized cave. Ugh, I still have to get used to my new size now, I guess. Anyways, it would seem even though my field of vision has now grown to a full 360-degree angle, my vision was actually severely shortened in turn. I could see about 3 or 4 meters out before everything starts becoming blurred, and only movement seemed to be easily registered further out than that range. So what now? I suppose that I was in a desperate need of information, so I went back to my status. But I wondered how I could even get it to appear again. Going through a number of different possibilities, my mind quickly went back to the prompt that had first greeted me: status. I shouted in my mind, and the very next second my wish came true: status, name. Race. Glade mosquito sex. Male rank. K. Level, 1/3 health. 1/1 stamina. 1/1 mana. 0/0, attributes, STR. 0 vit. 0 AGI. 2 dex. 1 int. 12 chr. 0 will. 11 mag. 0, trait, titles, and skills, 3 traits. 3 titles. 0 skill points. 1 resistances, phy. Resistance. 0 mag, resistance. 0 men, resistance. 5 Looking over the information again, I realized that quite a few things that didn't make any sense. How the hell could I have 0 strength, vitality, and 0 in other stats like that? So I simply decided to prompt that rather soothing voice, "Hey. Why do I have 0 strength?" I tried calling out in mind, hoping I could get a response. "You don't have 0 strength." Immediately after my question, the soothing voice answered my question to my immense joy, but it confused me at first. Ha! How can that be? It says on THOH.my attributes that say 0 on my status probably are less than 1 but not less or equal to 0. So I took a few seconds to formulate my next question and then asked the voice another question. "Who are you?" "I'm the system." "Can I customize my status?" "Yes, to a certain extent." "Can you please display my statistics that are below 1 and above 0, with 2 decimals, status, name. Race. Glade mosquito sex. Male rank. K. Level, 1/3 health. 1/1 stamina. 1/1 mana. 0/0, attributes, STR. 0.12 vit. 0.09 AGI. 2 dex. 1 int. 12 chr. 0.05 will. 11 mag. 0.02, trait, titles, and skills, 3 traits. 3 titles. 0 skill points. 1 resistances, phy. Resistance. 0.02 mag, resistance. 0.00 men, resistance. 5 Those are some depressingly low stats, but I'm a mosquito. After all, I shouldn't have any high expectations, I guess. My intellect and will are very high compared to every other stat, the reason most likely because my mind being that of a human. To be sure, I asked the system, why is my will and intellect so high compared to my other stats? Because your soul and mind is that of a human. It was as I thought. Although I had no idea how my intellect that required the size of a human's brain could be crammed into my current diminutive form of a mosquito, I simply wrote it off as magic being magic and began looking over my status once again. While I could guess at what my attributes meant, I still pulled up the information about them to be completely sure. STR. Strength. Determines the physical power that can be performed of the body. Vit. Vitality. Determines health, toughness, the resilience of the body to things like poison, and other aspects. AGI. Agility. Determines mostly speed and other similar aspects. DX. Dexterity. Determines the flexibility, grace, balance that can be performed by the body. Int. Intellect. Determines not knowledge, but the brain and the mind's ability to process and comprehend information, such as sensory input and thinking. CHR. Charisma. Governs the individual's ability to affect another individual's mental state and mind in a multitude of ways. Will. Determines the individual's mental fortitude. Mag. Magic power. Determines not the mana of the individual but rather the body's ability to conduct mana and the power of said mana. Physical resistance. Determines the body's ability to defend against physical damage. Magical resistance. Determines the body's ability to defend against magical damage. Mental resistance. Determines the mind's ability to defend against mental attacks and influence. Rank. An estimate of the power level of the individual. After clearing up on those, I pondered my next question: how come I don't have a name listed? Monsters do not have a name until an individual of enough power or significance names them, or a greater amount of individuals collectively recognize you by a certain alias. To monsters, names hold great significance since they can give special abilities, skills, or other enhancements to the monster. Interesting to say the least. Now to my skills. I shouted in my mind fervently. Nothing happened. Feeling rather embarrassed for no apparent reason, I made a mental cough to clear my mind. Skill list. Immediately after that, a list popped up: skill list, flight. LVL. 1 enhanced speed and maneuverability puncture. LVL. 1 increased penetration smell. LVL. 1 enhanced smell capabilities. Nothing amazing. Next to the traits, trait list, traits, siphoned out a natural ability of monster. Type mosquitoes. Consuming blood provides the user with EXP and attribute increases. Skill shop. Newa unique trait that provides the user with skill points at each level and allows the user to use the system to open a shop, where they can purchase skills with said skill points. Limit breaker. Newa unique trait that allows the user to be unhindered by the limitations of levels, evolutions, and skills. While I had no reference point to any of these traits, each one seemed extremely powerful, or at least useful. Without any accidents of me getting myself blown by a gust of wind and dying a depressing death of insect paste due to my puny 1 point of health, my potential power might just be without limit. Listen to the full novel at FameTV.info, direct link in the description.